Welcome to this tutorial on how to manage layers for the existing drawings. So we assume this one is our drawings. Now this drawing have only single layer, that is 0 layer. Now this exercise is different because on a previous exercise we saw how we can create layers, but this time round now the the drawing exists. Now we assume we don't have these layers. Let's delete the layers. We delete the layers. Now we create a new layer according to the drawings. Layer number 1, we see it is a wall. It is a wall. It's a wall. It's a brick wall. Brick wall section. Another layer, it is brick wall elevation. Another layer, it is ground earth. Section. Another layer is hardcore. Then you can set their colors, like maybe red. You can use yellow. You can use this one, cyan. You can use pink. Then okay, this layer, it will maintain its 4 dimensions. Now so if you go to layers manager, we know let's start with the brick wall section. Brick wall section, we set it current, that is one we are using. Then I go to hatch. This one. Now because it's a brick wall section, this one use. If I use it, I just go to this one, then I click this one, then I click wall section. Click wall section. Again for the wall section, for the brick wall elevation, I select it this way, then I go to this wall elevation that way. Then I go to ground earth, I select, then I go to this ground earth that way. Then I go to this, then I say it is hardcore, then I close. If it is dimensions, you go to dimensions this way, then you create 4 dimensions. No, dimensions I can select, then I right click, I say similar, because I know by default dimensions are similar. So I click this one, then I say dimensions. Now we have another layer which is called the text. We know we have not created the layer for the dimension for the text. Then I open my layer manager, then I create a new layer. I call it text. Then I close my layer manager. Then I select text. I know they are similar. Then I click text. I update as text. Now we have the wall, the brick wall section. It is for the hatching, but not for the line. So the lines which hold the borders to so that we can put the 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 hatching, they are called commons. So for example, if I select this one, then I select similar, that means all these one are common. They only belong to layer 0. But this time around, maybe I can create a layer for the title block. That is, I open my layer manager, I create a new, I call it title block. You can call it V for the time being. Then I choose my layer, then I close my layer manager, then I select this one, then I set it as TB. Now if maybe now I want to make sure all this one lie under one layer, or the rectangles, I can select. Okay, I can also manage each and every uh, each, each and every rectangle by its own name. For example, if this rectangle is brick wall, I can select it, then I make it brick wall section that way. I can also select this one, then I call it brick wall elevation. Brick wall elevation. I can also do this one by making it ground earth. Then I can also do this one by making it vertical. Again, I can also make the rectangles by the name commons. So if I create a layer, I call it common. It's called common. It's common. Can use different line weight. Then I use it common. So if I select this and this and the no sorry this and this, I can call it their common layer. So I click this one and then I convert them to common layer. Now I can also switch on my line weight LWT. This one is the common. Common. Yeah, this one. It's the common layer. Now this marks how to manage layers for the existing drawings. Now let's go back to layers. If you want to freeze means I want to remove from the model space so that I cannot see it. For example, if I want to freeze dimensions for these drawings, I'll use the layer 0 because this layer is not being used within this drawing. So if I do that, I can go to dimensions, that is dims, then I freeze my layer that way. I can also freeze this, add all this one, can also freeze text, I can also freeze this one, can also freeze this one, can also freeze this one. In short, you can freeze everything which is in the title block. So I can unfreeze, I can unfreeze the layer. So another thing, you can also switch off the layer on switch. If I switch off my dimensions, that means it will get lost from my model space, but I cannot use the same, I can use the same layer, but I cannot, okay, I can use the same layer, but I will have to switch on the layer. So if I try to use the layer, this what will happen. It has already been used, but it's not visible because it is already off. For example, if I switch it off, this what will happen. You can see we have double dimensioning. So I can remove one. That is the difference between freezing and switching off. For example, if I switch, for example, uh, uh, I you cannot freeze. So I'm saying if maybe I want to freeze this layer, I can freeze, and then this layer. You see, if it's frozen, you have freezed it up to you cannot to such a point that you cannot use it. But if it's on, you can use it, but not visible from the model. That is the difference between freeze and putting a layer on. Locking a layer. If you lock a layer, that is lock. If you lock a layer, the layers, this how the layer locked layers appear. Now, if I want to delete, it is not possible. That means I cannot manage to do anything within the I cannot do anything using the existing layers because they are locked. You can also unlock. Why do you need to lock your drawings? Maybe uh, your drawing can be handled by wrong hands. You are not supposed to leave your layers just open. Just lock them for security purpose. Plotting. Always make all layers printable. For example, now this one, the layers are printable. So if I click this one, and this one that way, that means the layers are not printable. So for example, if I view them in plot preview, it's not possible to see the layers because they are not printable. So if layers appear this way, always make sure they are printable. Colors. Colors is not necessarily to have drawing to have different colors, but it is good because they help us when printing. For example, yellow lines, they are very light in printing. So when you are choosing colors, you choose the bold one, the primary colors. You make sure you give them the first priority. Another layer, it is another important thing, it is the line types. Make sure you choose the right line type for the right drawing. For example, if I want the rectangles to have continuous, I'll mark it as the commons, they are commons. Then I go to my it is maybe this time around they are just this way continuous, but I need them to be dotted. So dotted. Let me choose another line type. Yeah, so it is dashed. So my rectangles are dashed. This how is it to manage layers. They make your work easier. So you can also have dashed but with a thickness of 0.5, that way. Then VPs, this one for the, you can use them when plotting. They are called VPs, viewport layer. So each line, each drawing can have its own viewport. So another thing for the layers, you can actually see all the used layers, all of them. So for example, if I want to see, for example, I layered several layers, I can see which layers have I used. So for this one, I've used a total of 10 layers. So this, all of these layers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, they are all in use. So if I go back to all, it will show all layers used and unused. So for the search, I can search a layer, specific layer I want to use. For example, I want to use dims. I can search dims. Dims. I can search a layer called dims. Then this how far we can go to layers. I thought, okay, I think maybe if you have questions next time, you can ask from my contacts, that is 0722 206 259. I'm Maro Boniface. Thank you and welcome.